What financial aid and corporate contracts really means for business and you. Discover how financial aid affects major corporate contracts, government roles, and the economy with clear insights and attention to key contract details. Understanding financial aid and corporate contracts, what you need to know. Hey, so I wanted to chat about something that doesn't get enough spotlight but actually plays a huge role in big business and government dealings. Financial aid and corporate contracts. Now, when most people think of financial aid, they usually imagine scholarships or grants for college. But in the corporate world, it's a whole different ballgame. In the simplest terms, financial aid in corporate contracts refers to any kind of monetary assistance or funding that a company might receive as part of a business deal. This can come in several forms, like subsidies, loans with favorable terms, tax credits, or direct investment from government bodies or private entities. The point is to support companies in launching projects, securing resources, or managing risk for ventures that might be too expensive or uncertain to handle alone. Let me give you an example. Imagine a tech startup working on some cutting-edge green energy project. They might enter a contract with a government agency which provides financial aid through subsidies to reduce the cost of expensive research and development. The contract will spell out how the aid is provided, when it has to be paid back, if at all, and under what conditions. Without this kind of financial backing, many innovative projects might die before they even begin. Why do governments provide financial aid in contracts? Now, you might wonder, why would the government just hand out money? It's not like they're just giving away free cash. Typically, the aid comes attached to conditions meant to serve broader economic or social goals. Think job creation, strengthening strategic industries, or advancing public health initiatives. This makes financial aid a tool for steering private enterprise in directions that benefit society at large. Here's where things can get tricky, though. There are always some voices around that raise concerns about potential misuse or favoritism. You've probably heard murmurs about government conspiracy theories tied to how financial aid is awarded, or critiques centered on pharmaceutical profits appearing out of such deals. And while it's important to scrutinize these, many allegations turn out to be untrue allegations or misunderstandings. Financial aid clauses in corporate contracts, what to watch for. If you ever find yourself dealing with contracts that involve financial aid, pay close attention to these key points. Conditions for receiving aid. What milestones or requirements must the company meet before it gets the funds? This could be performance goals, timelines, or regulatory compliance. Repayment terms. Is the aid a grant or a loan? Will it need to be repaid and under what circumstances? Sometimes aid is contingent on project success. Use of funds. Contracts often specify exactly what the money can be used for. Misusing funds can trigger penalties or contract termination. Audit and reporting. Most contracts require periodic reports and audits to ensure funds are used properly. These safeguards protect both parties. Termination clauses. If the recipient breaches terms, the funder can pull out the aid and possibly pursue damages. Being aware of these elements is essential to avoid headaches down the line, whether you're negotiating or just trying to understand a contract. Why it matters to you. You're probably thinking, okay, this sounds kind of dry and corporate, but why should I care? The fact is, this stuff impacts the products we use, the industries that shape our economy, and sometimes even the healthcare options available to us. Understanding these financial aid mechanisms helps shed light on how large-scale projects get off the ground. Plus, if you follow current events, you'll see how contracts tied to government aid and corporate partnerships occasionally become headline stories, fueling debates about transparency and accountability. Recognizing the ins and outs can help you spot when those stories hold water or when they're feeding into exaggerations and rumors. On a different note, a great read for you. Since we're on the topic of uncovering hidden truths and navigating complex agreements, I want to recommend a novel that brilliantly brings tension, corporate intrigue, and thrilling storytelling all in one place. Check out The Ultimate Frame by Andrew M. Semple. This captivating read dives into the world of deception and strategy in a way that's both gripping and thought-provoking. Discover this thrilling novel by Andrew M. Semple today. It's an adventure you won't want to miss, and it might even give you a new perspective on the kind of high-stakes decisions we've talked about here. All right, that's all for now. Thanks for hanging out and learning with me about financial aid and corporate contracts. Catch you in the next episode.